All right, this is Blaine Parrott coming at you at thataintblackpodcast.com. And we're here to sit back and show you, like I said in the past, that black folks do a whole lot of things. We do a lot more than rap, dance, and play basketball. And I got a really special, all the guys who are on my show, the ladies, the guys, whoever they're all very special. We got a guy right here, and he is nickname or go by whatever. Hey, the Black John Wick. Everybody's seen the John Wick films, and that's just make believe. That's just phony. We got the real deal guy here. His name is O by
Right.
Bodybyotactical. He's a tactical firearms trainer and instructor. He's been in the business a long time. Done seen a lot of stuff. Served our country. Served it well. He's been around celebrities. Did all kind of work. I'm gonna go ahead and shut my mouth and go ahead and let him get on in here and tell his story. What's going on, O?
What's up, family? This is O. I'm Body by O Tactical, Akofena Academy, and Akofena Community Security. Man, we here serving the people, grinding, getting it in. Black John Wick. I don't know about that.
Oh.
John Wick is a fictional character. He's
Uh-huh.
a fictional character, but we get it in for real every day, all day, man.
All right,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself because you've been in the game a long time. You've been around and a
Yeah.
whole lot of stuff. Well, how'd you start?
Well, the training side started in the military back in 2001. Did some training for the military, became an instructor for the fitness and firearm side. Left the military in 2008, started my own business in 2009, and pretty much it's been up ever since. Jumped knee deep into the gun game. I want to say, well, I'll start it with 2017 when I became the assistant director of training for the National African American Gun Association.
Wow.
Did that for a couple of years. Been running it, man. Doing my thing. Hit us for a couple of celebrities here and there.
Hmm.
Making things happen, man. Keep people safe, man. That's what we
Wow.
do.
So you like it a lot, I take it.
Oh, love it. It's an everyday thing for me. It's passion.
Okay, because like I said, I was talking a little bit before we started the interview,
Hmm.
and I've been around just a hobbyist. I'm just a hobbyist, just a guy mess
Hmm.
around and like it. Always liked it. And when I first started, I was like, I'm 53, and when I started getting into like 21, and this is way back in the
Right.
90s. I'm aging myself
Hmm.
now, but we
Hmm.
didn't have any internet, no Instagram, no nothing. This was dark age. We had pagers and shoot,
Right. Right.
no cell phones, no nothing. And
Right.
as a
Right.
black
Right.
person, getting into the gun game here in Washington State was not a whole lot of us.
Hmm.
I didn't know anybody. I had a few friends, one or two guys who were interested in it, but that's about
Right.
it. And of course, being African American, you want to go ahead and get some kind of training and stuff. That's was
Hmm.
way out in places that we weren't around. 'Cause I remember I was going to
Right.
one training academy. My mom said, "Whoa, wait a minute, ain't too much of us out there." And my mom,
Right.
being a good mom and everything like that, I want you to go out there, get around these
Hmm.
boys, and end up getting messed up or whatever. And but
Right.
nowadays it's changed a lot. But unfortunately,
Completely.
a lot of people are kind of naive because one of the first things they do, they go out there, they get a gun and they get some bullets, and that's about it. That's
Right.
what 97% of the people think. And the other 99% think, well, don't worry, I seen some stuff on TV. My homeboy told me about this, or they
Hmm.
seen somebody, whatever, some guy came out the military, the whole lot of, couch commandos or whatever, trying to give them some
Hmm.
advice. And that's not the way you want to go about. So tell me what you do when you do some training.
So let's go ahead and address the access to the training. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
of course, the internet has made this world extremely small.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's crossed barriers of age, obviously barriers of accessibility, barriers of race, even. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so it used to be
Mm-hmm.
there is no place for black folks. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now there's
Yeah.
no place that black folks haven't been. Right,
Uh-huh. Yes.
so it kind of cliche when we say, oh, it's not for black folks, and black folks don't do this. That's pretty much washed out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's to the point now where the if you want to call it the black 2H for the sake of
Mm-hmm.
reference, uh, the black women are even at the forefront right now. So
Uh-huh.
when it comes down to training, if you are black and you can't find a black firearms instructor, you're probably not looking, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All the way down to mentorship programs online. They've gotten a gun game so locked down, so intricate to where you can even have firearms training via Zoom, just like me and you are training
Whoa.
right now,
Yeah.
talking right now. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So Yeah, it used to be fairly difficult for us.
Uh-huh.
Big shout out to many organizations. Of course, you got the National African American Gun Association; they're still rolling. You got several other black organizations that are rolling. You got USCCA that I'm affiliated with. You even have the NRA. Like you even have brothers in the NRA who are heavy hitters,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
would say getting the job done. So it's really just a matter of not being afraid to reach out to the brothers that's in those spaces,
Uh-huh.
getting it done,
Yeah.
right? And when we talk about black versus white spaces, 99.9% of your tactical black gun guys
Uh-huh.
had to train in the white spaces.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just a matter of, you have the option to train with who you feel comfortable with, whether they identify, resonate with your upbringing, generation, background, culture, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something out there definitely for everybody. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, being from a black man, growing up, same background, everything
Okay.
like that,
Okay.
we're kind of naive and ignorant, almost ignorant about getting any kind of training. We're like, oh man, I don't need that
Right.
stuff. I've got
Well,
my
right.
strap and all that kind of stuff. And why
Right.
is it important that you actually get some training? Because people, oh man, I don't need
Right.
that. They got that macho kind of attitude. They think they know it
Right.
all.
Well, the biggest issue, excuse me, the biggest issue that I would say would actually be the legislation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hold on for a minute. Let me turn this music down for you. Got music in the hallway. Got this door open. I'm
No
gonna take
problem.
feedback. All right. So, what I would say is the legislation is the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like to hear me say this.
Mm-hmm.
When you say Second Amendment, it falls under the ideals of a right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anytime the government says, in order to do this God-given right,
Mm-hmm.
you have to take this class, you have to qualify this level of training.
Mm-hmm.
That's an infringement on those rights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when the legislation is set out to where a state says, hey, you don't have to have a class to have your license to carry said firearm,
Mm-hmm.
right? You remember the old saying, if you want to have something from a black person, put it in a book.
Oh, that's cold, man. That's a cold shot.
Or or if you want to hide something from black people, put it in a class and tell them they
Uh-huh.
don't have to take it.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think things would be different for us as a people if training was mandatory.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because, like you
definitely.
said, there is the ego. Oh, I grew up on the streets. I've been shooting guns. Or I was in the
Mm-hmm.
military. I've been
Yeah.
shooting guns. Or I was a police officer. I've been shooting guns. I
Uh-huh.
literally did a video today where a police officer shot a student in class in the library,
Oh my God.
and because he thought his real firearm was a training weapon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so just because you were in the military, just
Mm-hmm.
because you are currently in law enforcement, does
Uh-huh.
not mean you know firearms and firearm safety, nor does that make you a subject matter expert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, again, going back to your original question, what is the biggest problem for our community? I would say training,
Mm-hmm.
because we all think we know and we
Yeah.
have no idea what we don't know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the moment the law says we don't have to take a class,
Uh-huh.
that is Class A grounds for destruction, is the complete setup. That's my
Yeah.
opinion on
Okay. Yeah,
it.
because most of the times, unfortunately, we get our stuff from off of what TV. And there's
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot of myths about stuff on TV because that's Hollywood. That's so fake, 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 fake.
Mm-hmm.
And reality of it
Mm-hmm.
is like every time you sit back and you shoot a gun, you sit back and see a million movies where a guy gets shot. He always gets shot in the arm for some reason. Or
Mm-hmm.
he sits back and shoots a million shots, and other guys are shooting at him. They all miss, but he always hits.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what kind of gun he got. He got a little 38. Other guys got
Mm-hmm.
machine guns just spraying all around. They think, oh, I'll do this, and that's just totally fake, and that's totally Hollywood. And when you go to the classes, you can dispel a lot of those myths. Like, hey, man, you got to look at the legal side. You pull
Mm-hmm.
out that gun, you shoot it. You're responsible for every bullet that comes out there, and
Correct.
you're
One
going to be
thousand
held
percent correct.
accountable for that. And trust me,
Right.
your
Right.
ass black, yeah, they're gonna hold you accountable. That's definitely.
Well, and see, that's the thing. A lot of us think that because we're black, we're held to a different account.
Uh-huh.
I'll argue that's not necessarily the case.
Uh-huh.
Because you
Okay.
don't know,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know, you did something stupid,
Mm-hmm.
and ignorance is no excuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the options are there.
Yeah.
The options are there for education. The options are
Mm-hmm.
there for insurance. The options
Mm-hmm.
are there for everything we would actually need in our
Uh-huh.
community. It's just a matter of us taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
That would be my
Mm.
devil's advocate argument to the
Okay.
statement, if that makes sense. Yes, definitely.
Okay. What are some of the
Mhm.
stuff you've seen on TV that people come to your class and they've seen some stuff on TV like, no, you can't do that. No, not in real life.
Right. Exactly. So the one, firearm safety is the biggest thing.
Uh-huh.
Firearm safety is the biggest thing.
Uh-huh.
Of course, the safety rules are always broken in the
Mm-hmm.
movies. From there, the idea of thinking just pulling the trigger and the bullet's going to go where you want it. It's a lot more
Yeah.
science that goes into it than
Mm-hmm.
that. And then, of course, where's the bullet going when you get your heart rate up, you're moving around, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, when somebody gets shot, somebody gets hurt, where's your first aid training? Where's your stop the bleed training?
Mm-hmm.
All of that. It's a conglomerate of things. And I would like to associate it to, if the movies were real,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be as many dead people in our community via gang violence and
Mm-hmm.
firearm violence and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So again, the biggest issue falls back on the train. Let's talk about John Wick. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Okay. Yeah.
We watched the movie John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
But not too often do we watch the training videos, Tactical and
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves out there in
Uh-huh.
California grinding it
Yeah.
90 hours a week in a
Yeah.
firearms class.
Yeah. Yeah. Terrence's really a great guy. He's trained. I think he trained Holly Berry because she was going to be in the movie, and a couple
Yep,
of other
yep,
actors too. He's
yep,
really
yep.
popular in the gun community.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, and then of course you have my favorite, my mentor, of course, Buck Doyle, training Michael B. Jordan and all that kind of stuff. So we got to
Mm-hmm.
understand the Hollywood stuff is one thing. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, they do consult us, and I have a couple of TV shows that have consulted me as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of it is, no one sees that part.
Yeah. Exactly.
We all want to see the finished product. No one wants to take into account on how we got there.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that's the biggest thing. It will always go back to firearms training,
Uh-huh.
firearms safety,
Uh-huh.
and knowing that we don't know.
Yeah.
No matter how much we know, there's always somebody that can mentor you, train you, get you to the next level. But we got to
Mm-hmm.
start somewhere. And the humility required
Yeah.
in starting at ground zero, regardless
Yeah.
of how much you know, regardless
Yeah.
of how many classes you get
Yeah.
to, that's difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, because I remember looking at some of James Yeager's video, and he said one of the biggest things that he had was guy's ego. You're like, man, you gotta leave your ego at the door, man.
Well,
It's kind of
let's talk
hard
about
to
ego.
train a guy like, hey, man, you leave your ego
Well,
at the door because all guys think they know everything. We do
right.
everything by nature.
Well, I'll say something that's bigger than ego. Let's take
Mm,
James Yeager, for example.
mm,
There's a lot of us that can benefit from
uh-huh,
the knowledge of James Yeager,
uh-huh.
but won't even listen to him because they heard something maybe he said later that was racist or something, whatever.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Man, if I had $100 for every time I was in what you would consider a racist space, I probably would be on this podcast.
yeah,
You
exactly.
see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh,
So what we've done in a lot of cases in our community, we've discredited the information
mm-hmm,
or discredited the message for the messenger,
uh-huh,
right?
uh-huh.
Well, that instructor is racist. Well, they still got the information. You're not going to be liked by him and his race. You're going to
Mm-hmm,
get the information.
uh-huh.
Well, I don't feel comfortable. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
so please understand that in most cases, the instructor like myself that is black, that does
uh-huh.
identify you,
Yeah.
he had to be in a number of those spaces to get the information that you need right now.
Okay.
So now
Mm-hmm,
you have to go out of your way to
mm-hmm,
find a black instructor just
uh-huh.
because they look like you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, perfect example, take where you are right now.
Yeah.
There may not be a lot of black firearm instructors,
Uh-huh.
but I guarantee you there's firearm instruction within 25 miles of where you're sitting right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good
We
idea.
we
Yeah.
just we just
Yeah.
we just have to get over
That
the
mental.
whole idea of
Mm-hmm.
there you go. We got to get
Mm-hmm.
over the whole race issue because at the end of the day, I'll use you as an example, not
Mm-hmm.
real, but for the sake
Yeah.
of illustration in
Uh-huh.
the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you, as a black man, decide you're not going to go to a white man for the information,
Uh-huh.
you very well could be depriving every black person in your area because you could be that black firearms
Yeah,
instructor.
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's true. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So what are we going to do about that?
Uh-huh.
Right? Are we going to wait for somebody 5 years from now who's doing that right now?
Uh-huh.
Or are you going to be the one? Are you going to be that Moses to lead your people out of Egypt?
Exactly. Like you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Because nowadays it's
Mhm.
so you gotta be able to take care of yourself. I mean, every time you turn around, there are
Thanks.
no sacred places anywhere. Folks is going
Mhm.
crazy in churches. Go to
Everywhere.
the movie theater. You can't go to the damn grocery store. Because
Of course
it's
not.
crazy. And the bottom line is, hey, bottom line is police can only do so much. People say, oh, call the police. Well,
Thanks.
they may get there 3 to 5 minutes, but between 3 to 5 minutes and arriving, there's a whole lot of stuff that could happen. Because I remember,
Well, not only
mm-hmm,
not only do you have to worry about the response time
uh-huh,
of the quote unquote first responder, you
uh-huh,
are your own first responder. I'll deal with that in a
exactly.
minute.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about response time, there's no guarantee that the cop showing up is actually going to know what he's doing either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So you have more faith in a badge,
yeah.
in an ideology, than getting the training that you need to defend yourself and your family. Because the reality
Mm-hmm.
of it is, they're not the first responder.
Yeah, you
They're the
are.
cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
You're the first responder. You're there ground zero on scene when the foolishness happens. So
Mm-hmm.
you're responsible for your own safety in that
Mm-hmm.
regard. But what happens is it's so easy to pass the buck.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so easy to make it somebody else's fault. Well, the police aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not the police's responsibility to serve you or protect you. That's just
Uh-huh.
the logo at the bottom of the car. And you
Mm-hmm.
don't even see that anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, next time you're walking down the street, you see a cop car pass by, just go ahead and look for it.
You're not going to see it. It's
Yeah,
going to say the pride of whatever city or
exactly.
we love whatever. It's not
Uh-huh.
going to be serve and protect because that's not
Uh-huh.
their job.
Uh-huh.
It's not their job to protect you. It's your job to protect you.
Yeah, yeah.
It is their job to enforce said laws, but
Mm-hmm.
how many of them are ever there when the law is being broken?
Exactly. Exactly.
The only people who are there when the laws are being broken are the assailant and the victim.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now
Mm-hmm.
move on. Just go here, throw you for a little curve. We know that a lot
Right.
of women right now are
Mm-hmm.
head of households.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of women. What would you say about a woman wanting to get a firearm to protect herself? Because a lot of women are independent. A lot of women got kids living at home, and of course they can't sit back up here and wait for some cops to come around to protect them. They got to protect
Mm-hmm.
themselves. So if a woman's listening to this right now, what advice would you give her?
Easy. My sister, Queen. If you are head of household, it is now your responsibility to defend you and your household. Period. Point blank.
Okay.
I will say that the firearm is in fact an equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
Go get training.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. Go get training because the reality of it is you don't want to be. Victimhood is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I say this to all my sisters.
Uh-huh.
Victimhood is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You choose to be a victim the moment you choose to not take responsibility for your own safety and
Mm-hmm.
protection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With that said, the sky is the limit for how far you can go in firearms training. Any
Mm-hmm.
woman that's listening to me right now that is in an area where she doesn't find adequate firearms instruction, cool. Go to
Mm-hmm.
where you can to get that firearms instruction. You just may be the next female instructor for your area.
Okay. Cool.
There are plenty of female instructors that are in there that will, pardon my French, there's plenty of female instructors out here who will knock your shit off.
Okay. Good.
So
Good. Yeah.
there's
Keep it
no more
real. Yeah.
excuses, right?
Yeah.
There's no more excuses. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Will you suggest, like, for male or female, go ahead and like take an introductory course first before you walk in and actually buy a gun? 'Cause you don't want to. Like I said, a lot of guys
Yes,
got egos. I want to get this $2,000 1911 gun, or I want to sit back and get
right,
me a 44 Magnum,
right,
eight. Cause when I was
right,
walked into the gun, like you got this kind of like guys when they think they're cool. Yeah, give me some of that. It's really expensive. Let me go ahead and get this. It's really, really big, like 357. You're like, hey man, you got to pack that thing around every day.
mm-hmm.
Hey, we a lot of guys, of course, go by their ego more than they go by
Right,
practicality. 'Cause
right.
I remember I was younger,
Okay,
I did that. I wanted to get to the latest and greatest, and I sit back, and one guy sit back, and I was going to get to like 1911. It's like $2,600. I was going to get my tax return and buy it. I thought it was real cool. He
mm-hmm.
said, "No, man, you need to get that Glock 9 millimeter down there for like
Mm-hmm.
500 some bucks, and go get another $2,000 of training and instruction."
That is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a key fact. The reality of it is we don't know what we don't know. We only
Uh-huh.
know what's sensationalized,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
If perfect example, the first John Wick, the Kimber 1911 that he had in that, yeah, it's a $2,000 gun. Do you need
Uh-huh.
that? No, you don't.
Yeah.
However, we've sensationalized the firearm and not the training,
Mm-hmm.
which is why, yes, she's right. Go get that Glock 19 for $500-600 and then spend $2,000 in training.
Yeah.
The reality of it is what we all want to do. Going to your initial question,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you should do, go to a gun range or firearm
Mm-hmm.
instructor, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
gun range or firearm instructor who offers firearm rentals for firearms courses,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Have your budget set up to where you go do this firearm rental
Uh-huh.
at this range or this academy and have it in your budget to purchase a firearm at the end of the course.
Okay.
Perfect example. What we do, we have several different firearms. Everybody that comes out for a first time and they rent a firearm, they take a defensive pistol one course. We put several firearms in their hands so they can
Mm-hmm.
feel them.
Yeah.
And they take a certain amount of rounds of
Mm-hmm.
every firearm that we give them so they can see what it feels like, see what the cycling feels like, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
From there, they get an opportunity to see what they like, yada, yada, yada. And then I tell them, hey, take a picture of the firearm, take a picture of the model number, all that kind of stuff, so that within the next week, you can
Uh-huh.
go purchase said firearm because I'm giving you homework at the end of the class that you're going to go
Uh-huh.
have to home and dry fire.
Yeah.
You can't dry fire without a firearm,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what we do in our academy for first timers. We do allow them to rent firearms.
Mm-hmm.
We give them the opportunity to take a picture of the firearm that they feel they like best, that works best for them in combination with how well they do, from my
Mm-hmm.
point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And then we encourage them to go find that firearm, go buy that firearm within the next 7 days so they can commence to their homework.
Okay. Hey, if someone wants to go out to get a class, what are the basic fundamentals they should look for in an instructor? Like a certain qualification,
Okay.
experience, a combination of what,
Okay.
or
Okay. Don't let's not over sensationalize the background of an
Uh-huh.
instructor,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
Because what happens is if you go for the famous, well-known instructor,
Uh-huh.
he or she is probably going to charge you out the wazoo for the same information you need in a basic course,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
So what you should do, go to your local gun range, sign up for the basic pistol course.
Uh-huh.
Take it as many times as you need to
Mm-hmm.
until you got it on you, right?
Okay.
And then when you can perform proficiently in that level, then look to the next level. Don't necessarily get into a nostalgic state of wanting to train with the famous firearm instructor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Because depending upon you, if you got the budget for it, cool, come on out, train,
Uh-huh.
whatever. But the reality of it is, if you don't have that budget and you just need the information, go get the information, go do what you got to do to get the reps in, to get your fine motor skills on the reps so that you can perform at a level, so that you can progress through the levels of firearm training, instruction, so on and so forth, so that if you want to get to that tactical level, you're
Mm-hmm.
good. Or get to a level to where you're comfortable carrying your firearm every day. Get to the level to where you're sure that you can defend yourself at the gas station, in the Walmart, or
Mm-hmm.
wherever you're going to go with this firearm.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get so wrapped up in, well, the peer person that I need to train me needs to be a veteran from the Marine Corps, needs to be such and such in the Army, or needs to be a law enforcement officer. No, you got plenty NRA instructors who've never
Mm-hmm.
been in anybody's military, never been in the law enforcement,
Uh-huh.
but they know the fundamentals very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very well. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're starting at the beginning, you need to learn the fundamentals. Don't get wrapped up in, well, my instructor was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean? That has nothing to do with you being able to retain the information
Uh-huh.
and regurgitate that verbally and
Uh-huh.
expressively via your fine motor skills when it comes
Uh-huh.
down to the range or in a contingency.
Okay. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Another question I want to ask is, as far as African American, what can we do to
Mm-hmm.
encourage more Black people or whatever to try to get into these classes? Because a lot of Black folks, most of my buddies don't know.
Right.
they
They don't know
they
squat
and
and they don't
it
want to
was
take a
worse.
class.
They ain't even trying
Right.
to know nothing. And I'm like,
Right.
nah,
And that's the
brother,
thing.
you got to get some training, bro.
We have to make training cool again.
Yeah.
That's it. I
Yeah.
mean, we just gotta make it cool. The reality of it is, if your friends see you at a training course
Uh-huh.
twice a month, like, yo, man, what are you doing? Shit, training. Like,
Yeah,
what does it look like
exactly.
I'm doing?
Uh-huh.
Training for what? I'm training for all of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when they see you training, hey, bro, like, you don't know the hell you're doing with firearm. You need to come on out to this class. No, I don't need no class. But I tell you what, as long as you carry the firearm, you can't hang with me because it's clear that you don't know what you're doing. Because
Yeah.
if you're not smart enough to take a course,
Yeah.
at least a refresher course or a course to make you better, or I'm trained. Let me clear this up. There is no such thing as I am trained, period, when it comes down to firearms.
Okay.
There is, I am continuously training. I'm always pushing the envelope so that I can get better, because you don't know the skill set of the bad guy that catches you slipping.
Exactly. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So we have to actively change the narrative as individuals and say, hey, I'm constantly training. People ask me, man, how often do you train? Every fucking day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't have it on now, but everybody sees the shirt that says, because I don't know what y'all gonna do.
Yeah. Oh,
because
man.
I don't know what y'all gonna do.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why
That's
I train
true.
every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have a shirt that says, don't buck beyond your training.
Yeah. Okay.
Facts.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have to make training cool.
Uh-huh.
It's got to be a thing.
Uh-huh.
Because the reality of it is, all of your homeboys that think they know, bring them to the range one day. Let me see how well you shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you shot like shit
Yeah.
on this target. Well, I ain't done it in a long time. Well, dumbass.
Exactly.
Okay, we're on a control range in a controlled environment. That target's not moving. It's not yelling at you. It's not shooting back at you. And you having a hard time at 9 feet, 3 yards, putting your bullets where you want them. So what do you think you're going to do? Spur them, oh, I'm going to show up in a moment. No, you don't. It won't happen. It's never happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So pushing that narrative, and I get it. I get it. We want to make, I'm going to go ahead and say this and make people mad. We want to make everything white people fault.
Okay. All right, cool. Come with it. Yeah.
We want to make everything white people fault. I doubt very seriously you will walk into any NRA class and they say, no, you can't take this basic pistol course because you're black.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But we have a tendency to make up so many excuses because we don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to break out of comfort zone.
Big shout out to my late mentor, Samir Bolivar, shout out group. He said, we got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's training.
Exactly.
That's training.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you want to train for this moment. Well, I want to train for a drive-by. Well, first of all, before you train yourself to be adequate to defend yourself from a drive-by, you got to take basic pistol 1, defensive pistol 2, and then you got to take defensive pistol 3, and then you got to take a vehicle ambush course.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is why so many people get shot up in the hood.
Yeah.
Right? Excuse me. But that's the reality of it. To answer the question directly, we have to make training cool.
Exactly.
When was the last time y'all want to go play golf and y'all want to go to Colombia and do some passport bro stuff? Okay, cool. When you going to do a range day with your homeboys and actually have an instructor come in and teach y'all?
Exactly.
Queens.
Yeah.
Queens, you want to do a spa day, girls' night out. You going to come to the range and train.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because like at the end of the day, we had a young lady, apparently it was a fake story, but we had a young lady just go viral because she said that somebody hit her in the face with a brick.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Regardless of the fact that she may have been scamming, that's a real ideal.
Yeah.
There are women who've been assaulted because they refuse to give their phone number to somebody.
Exactly.
True story. Sisters, if you are married, I want you to think about this. You, under no circumstances, do you want your husband putting his life on the line, risking his life, giving his life for a woman he does not know.
Yeah.
With that being said, ladies, your safety is your responsibility. No one's coming to save you. It is no one's responsibility to step in and save you from whomever might be asking you for your phone number and deciding to assault you. Because
hold on, wait for that. Can you say that one more time, just in case they...
Ladies, for those of you in the back, it is no one's responsibility to come to your defense under any circumstances. That is no one's legal obligation at all. However, I encourage each of you.
Uh-huh.
If you don't come to me, cool, go to somebody.
Uh-huh.
Get your training together, do what you need to do, so that in the event
Uh-huh.
some clown decides to assault you because you decided to not give him your phone number, please feel free to put all the pressure in the world on his mom to have her sitting on the front row of somebody's church on Saturday morning.
Oh man, yeah. Because like you said, every time
It's
you turn
simple.
around, you can't go past a day without hearing some crazy story. I mean, the Americans are going crazy. I don't know what's going on. I mean, you sit back up, you think, oh man, that's really terrible. Wait a 2 or 3 days, you hear something even worse.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean,
no one's.
Yeah.
I say this to everybody, male or female. No one's coming to save you.
Exactly.
No one.
Exactly. Because I remember. Go ahead. Because I remember down in
Get it
New
in your
Mexico, they had like 300 cops outside of a school of children and teachers being shot. 300. Oh my God! You guys didn't.
Let's do one better. Let's do one better. You remember the cop at Parkland down in Florida who hid behind the wall?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. We called him all type of assholes. He was a coward, blah, 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 blah. Did you know that they not only gave him his job back, but gave him back pay?
Yeah, they'll do that. They'll do that.
Well,
they did that.
Well, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why they did that. Because nowhere in anyone's law did it say that he had to go in there and put his ass on the line for your badass kids.
Oh, and that's the thing about it. People have that assumption that, and they assume wrong. They end up being an asshole. They assume wrong. Yeah. And he got his job back?
Dude, yeah, hell yeah. Why? Because what does the law say?
Yeah.
And I will say this to every black person under the sound of my voice. Stop this emotional bullshit. Pick up something and read it. Because the law doesn't care about your emotion.
Exactly.
Period. Point blank. No one's legally obligated to come save you.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a school resource officer. However, person came in with more armament than he had. He is well within his human right, legal right, and right per the police department or sheriff's department to sit his ass behind cover until adequate help showed up. And that's exactly what he did. He's not SWAT team. He's a school resource officer. So with that being said, his little 9mm 40 or 45 he had on his hip wasn't nowhere near enough for the AR-15 or AK-47 coming in the door.
Not sidearm. No, not against an assault rifle. No.
And let's stop right here. Parents, y'all were the ones who didn't want guns in the school and metal detectors in the school because it looks like a prison anyway. So now we got one old school resource officer because you don't want your child going to a school that looks like it's militarized. Okay. So bad guy moseys into the school because the resource officer's on the other side of the school. He or she moseys into the school and lights the place up. And now you're angry because this guy doesn't want to eat AR-15, AK-47 bullets for lunch.
Yeah. He's not a protected.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's not there to protect them. He's there to enforce the law. What does the legislature say? What does the law say? We can go round and round and round this, but until you pick up the law and actually read it, you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. If you want to pick it up and read it, you will see he was well within his rights. So you have to get his man his money. Because guess what? He chose to go home and be with his family.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't make the law. I just do my due diligence to learn it.
Yeah. Hey, what are like the 3 biggest myths that you heard that people think that you shoot somebody like one time they go flying back and it's or you just shoot somebody in the leg they're gonna go down and what are myths that you have heard?
Here's the truth. Let's go ahead because I do my due diligence to dispel myths. Is it a guarantee that the first round is going to put them down? Well, that depends on where you put it. Now that I've said that, your bullets are going to go where your skill set allows.
True.
If you haven't taken a firearms course, at least to the second level of defensive pistol within the last 2-3 months, you're gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the skill set of the bad guy.
Yeah.
So the idea of thinking we just gonna perform without having ever done it before is insane.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. A lot of us think we're just going to be able to perform. So I'll start there. You will not, number one, you will not rise to your level of expectation. You will fall to your level of training.
Okay.
Every single time. If you are not trained to do it, you won't ever do it. Not to mention, if you don't train, even if you go train, watch this. Even if you go train up to defensive pistol 2 to where we're starting to do some movement. We're starting to engage multiple targets. We're starting to reload. Okay. Well, what does that have to do with your drilling though?
Yeah.
You haven't trained under that condition enough. You don't have enough reps under the adrenaline to be able to defend yourself from a bad guy who actually halfway knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah. You got to understand
that would be the biggest thing.
Yeah, because it's a fine skill that you have to keep up. It diminishes.
Fine motor skill.
Yeah, it's a fine motor skill you got to keep on up. Because a lot of guys think they got the kind of a mental like guys in bars and stuff. They be watching TV, watching football. Oh man, he should have did this. He should have did that. Like man, your ass ain't played football in how many years? You gonna just put on a uniform and jump onto the field and making touchdowns or doing 3-pointers, man? No, it doesn't work like that.
Here's the truth, the psychology behind firearms training and the motor development skills that are associated with it. You lose 20% per week. I'll say this again. You lose 20% of what you learned every week, every 7 days that you're away from. So you go learn something, firearms course. You spend $2,000 for this firearms course with this famous instructor. You go home and you put the gun down for 5 weeks. You're back to ground zero.
Wow, man. Yeah.
20% per week. Just that simple. I don't make the rules. I just know them.
Man. And this is one of the big things that we have in our community. Brothers don't get concealed carry permits. I know so many black folks out there who I don't know where the hell this got to be the most trifling, ignorant thing that if you get a permit that says that you automatically carry a gun and makes you a bad guy, whatever, they got to say, oh man, don't worry about it.
Time out. 2 things. When the law says you don't have to have it, they won't go get it. You and I both know, and I will say this as a black instructor. As a black instructor, the biggest, most profound question I get more than any other question is, will I get a certificate after this? Will I be certified after this class? There is nothing, for whatever reason, we in our community seem to think a piece of paper, a certificate on the wall is the end all to be all.
Yeah.
And here's what I have to say. You in the studio right now, right? You drove to the studio, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you passed about 200 people on the way to your studio who have a driver's license and don't know what the hell they do. So why do you need a certificate from a basic defensive pistol course? You see the mindset now?
Yeah.
In our community, we were just taught, oh, you got to go get your diploma. You got to go get your degree. Oh, you need that piece of paper. The white man ain't going to do nothing if you don't have that piece of paper. You got to have master's there. You got to have a piece of paper. So now the issue in our community is everybody think they have to be certified to get a piece of paper. That cop that killed that young lady, he got a certification. The doctor with the malpractice got a doctor's degree and a certification. What are we doing here? So the moment you limit your learning to a piece of paper, you stop learning.
Okay.
And that is insane to me. That is absolutely insane. Just because you have a license, just because you have your license to carry, does not mean you know what you're doing. Because here's what happened. The state said that you had your license to carry because you were exposed to these laws. You were
Mm-hmm.
exposed to these safety ideals.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean anything for the simple fact that the state doesn't want to take responsibility for you messing up because you have said license.
Mm-hmm.
What would the training look like if you had your license to carry and the state was responsible for everything you did with it?
Okay.
What level of training do you think would be mandatory in that facet?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
idea that we as a people, oh, I got my license to carry, I'm good. No,
Yeah.
you got your license to carry. All they did was tell you where you should and shouldn't carry your gun and how
Uh-huh.
much jail time they're gonna give you for messing it up.
Yeah. True. True. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we got a lot of work to do in our community to change the mentality. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm very careful about the rhetoric that I put out there when it comes down to training. There is
Mm-hmm.
no such thing as I'm trained.
Okay.
Oh, the last class I took, okay, I'll say it this way. As an instructor,
Mm-hmm.
as a training counselor who makes instructors, I still do my due diligence to find somebody to get trained every 90 days.
Wow.
I'm an instructor. I make
Mm-hmm.
instructors. And I still go do my due diligence to get training every 90 days, even if it's one of the instructors that I made.
Wow. That's heavy. That's deep.
This is why we as a community
Mm-hmm.
are failing. This is why we failing. We talk about firearms. I'm talking about every area of life. Why
Mm-hmm.
does your pastor not have a pastor?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation, bro.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And you wonder why the church running amok because your pastor doesn't have a pastor, bro.
Exactly.
And that's the concept that I've been trying to push for so many years
Mm-hmm.
through our community. There is no such thing, black man, black woman, as you are trained. The moment you tell yourself you are trained, that's when you stop learning, and that's the moment you become dumber and complacent.
Well, on that note, who do you look up to?
I got several mentors. I will
Mm-hmm.
leave them unnamed
Okay.
because I don't want to over sensationalize a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
A couple people, I will say, those of us who were affiliated with the Shadow Group, since Samir's passing, we do train each other.
Uh-huh.
Of course, you have your heavy hitters that I just named, that I just aforementioned. The reality of it is, I don't want to over sensationalize because what I don't want,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to skip over your local instructors
Oh, okay. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go to the famous instructors.
Yeah.
That's why I purposely don't name drop in that facet, because
Mm-hmm.
your local instructor
Mm-hmm.
is the one that's there, that's
Yeah.
teaching classes for $75.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll say that
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
Your local instructor has an abundance of information that you
Mm.
have no clue of, and he's only training $75.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now my question is, where's your excuse?
Yeah.
Why are you not the local John Wick? Because the information is readily available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
So,
True. It's only a touch away
you see what I'm
on
saying?
your cell phone.
There you go. So I'm not going to promote even myself on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to promote
Uh-huh.
the local instructor. Go to your local instructor. You know what? Stop. I'll say this.
Mm.
Now I'm gonna get a little emotional.
Yeah. Go ahead. No
Stop.
problem.
Stop the lazy bullshit
Uh-huh.
because you don't want to drive an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll drive an hour to eat your favorite food.
Mm-hmm.
You'll drive an hour to turn up
Yeah.
and drive back drunk. You'll drive back drunk an hour.
Some of us got a lot of trouble doing that, but we still do it anyways.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you won't drive an hour to take a firearms course?
Yeah. Yeah.
Priorities all mixed up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Find your local instructor. Stop playing. Find your
Uh-huh.
local instructor. If you don't have a local black instructor, get your lazy ass up.
Be one.
Go to the white folks.
Uh-huh.
Take the courses you need to take. Learn what you need to learn, and be a basic firearm instructor for your community. Stop playing. At least teach safety. We lose more people in our community because of the lack of knowledge of firearm safety.
Yeah. Yeah. Like those.
You know the verse.
Yeah.
My people perish. That's not a saying. That's
Yeah.
a scripture. My people perish due to the lack of knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't write it.
Exactly. Exactly. Got to reach one and teach one, you know. Hey, man,
Yeah,
you got a lot of back. You also did some stuff for celebrities. I won't go any further about that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
security, what you done? You've been
yes,
all around it. I mean, you want to touch on that a little
yes.
bit or whatever?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I own a security company. Yes, I do security for well, executive protection for a lot of celebrities. The biggest thing that we're pushing right now,
Mm-hmm.
full transparency, I'm only one person,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I got my team of instructors, but it's only us. We're right here.
Uh-huh.
So what we do, quick shameless plug, October 13th through the 15th, we
Uh-huh.
have a security symposium,
Mm-hmm.
and people come from all over the country
Yeah.
to train under Akofena Academy to go back to their celebrities, right?
Mm.
That's the big thing for us because we get it. We understand the biggest issue in the executive protection world with celebrities. They don't know who to trust. Look at the Steve Harvey situation.
Yeah. I don't want to get shot. Oh man. Oh man. Ooh, yeah.
Rumored,
Yeah. That's
rumored,
man.
rumor or
Mm,
not,
mm,
why is that even able to be spoken of?
yeah.
Look at the situation that just went viral about Drake. He was on
Yeah.
stage and somebody just walks up on stage. Well, one, you had house security, which
Yeah.
was garbage. That's what
Yeah.
happens when when you pay people
Mm.
$15 an hour.
Oh no, yeah. Well, you expect
You see what I'm saying?
come on, man. So
What do you
you made
expect?
somebody
What do you
15
expect?
bucks an hour. You think he gonna come on,
Yeah,
man? I could get this at Burger
yeah,
King, McDonald's, man. No, I ain't
facts.
taking no bullet.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So the reality of it is, the academy is what we push the
Mm,
most for celebrity executive protection because we want the people that you trust to come and
mm.
train so we can send them back. True enough,
Okay.
I can come do security, my guys can come do security for you, but you don't know us from the can of paint.
No,
Okay.
no.
And we want you safe and comfortable and trusting. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So the big deal for that is for those of you who are under the sound of this podcast
Mm,
who want training in the area of executive protection.
mm,
We do have that symposium coming up on the 13th to the 15th of October.
mm.
And we literally do, if you go to the Instagram page, Bodybyotactical, the first one up there, you will see we have it pinned at the top. You'll see we literally, from the aircraft to the hotel to the venue,
Whoa,
back to the hotel, back to the aircraft.
man. Wow.
All of it. Yeah.
Wow. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of
And we, of course,
opportunities for blacks,
a lot of
females,
opportunities.
and males
Come
in
on,
the
man.
security
Come on, man.
industry.
Like on my team, I got 2 or 3 women, 4 women I can call on that will beat your ass all goddamn night if
Damn.
necessary.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's not about what we have. It's about you being active, proactive, and not just choosing not to be lazy.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got something. We got something. There's also a big portion of the course that we teach for de-escalation and stop the bleed. I
Mm-hmm.
tell security guys all the time,
Yeah.
more chances than not, you're going to address an illness or an injury more so than a fight or a gunfight.
Okay. Yeah. The reality of
Yeah.
it.
So if you ride around with your client and they get a headache, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have Tylenol, ibuprofen,
Uh-huh.
or Aleve,
Uh-huh.
and Aleve, I'll say, because everybody can't have acetaminophen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
damn near almost have to be a fucking medic
Yeah. Yeah.
coming out of our academy. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
there's so much stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be fair. If people get upset when I say this, but you need to be the best and smartest babysitter the world has ever seen.
Hmm.
Think about it.
Yeah.
How much trust do you have to have in this individual to leave your child with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to worry about my baby having a fever. I ain't got to worry about them falling and hurt themselves. I ain't got to worry about them choking on nothing. I ain't got to worry about them
Mm-hmm.
being bad. None of that, because the
Mm-hmm.
babysitter, of whom which I've trusted
Mm-hmm.
to have all the credentials I need
Mm-hmm.
them to have to keep my baby safe,
Yeah.
is going to keep my baby safe.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Man, you just gave me so much information, even more than I even thought when I first came in here. And man, I was kind of ignorant myself, and I admit that. Hey, you don't sit back and trying to find someone where you could be that person. You like reach one, teach
Facts.
one. And when brothers sit
Facts.
back and see you doing something, they're more likely to be able to come aboard and do it themselves and get together as a
Right.
group of men and everything. And that's especially what
Facts.
we need because we live in some crazy times. Every time you turn around, there's something going on.
Man,
And you got to protect
man,
yourself.
my granddaddy said it best.
Uh-huh.
Rest in peace. My granddaddy said, grandson, it's gonna get worse before it get better.
Yeah. Yeah. That is definitely. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's really, really true. Because nowadays, I mean, I'm not exaggerating. You don't believe me? Just go ahead and turn on the TV. I guarantee this is what
That's it.
Thursday, by Monday,
That's it.
Friday, Saturday, somewhere in this country, somewhere in probably your neighborhood, somewhere in your town,
Game
your
over.
city, where you come, it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
And you got to protect
It's something
yourself.
happening. It's something happening right now that's probably going to go viral tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
Watch this. It's going to be 3 things that go
Yeah.
viral. That's
Yeah.
absolutely stupid before
Yeah.
you edit this video and post it.
Exactly. Because we had after the because I remember, like I said, I'm a hobbyist and always been around guns and everything. We had the George Floyd riots. I never walked into a gun store. There was always guns, and they were like completely out. And box of ammo that was going for like $12 for a full metal jacket, 9mm, was going for $60, $70. It's crazy, and it's like, oh my
Supply
god,
and demand.
Yeah,
Supply
I
and
couldn't
demand.
believe
American
it. I
dream,
mean,
baby.
I remember
Capitalism.
it was kind of stupid. I remember they had this silver tier Winchester ammo, like 75 rounds of 124, 75 rounds, 150 rounds altogether, 124 and 115 grain. It was like $80. And I said, I don't need that. You know, my girlfriend, oh, we crazy. I'm going to buy some shoes. You buy that. And I passed it up. 6 months later, that jumped off. That stuff, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. A full metal jacket ammo going for $60. You can only buy one box? They were limiting you, and they were flying off the shelf before you even got there. So you definitely got to, I mean, you seen that after the George Floyd riots, you can't depend on the police. You be a fool too. You got to depend on yourself. You got to be your own first responder, your own self-defense.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you were a police officer, would you walk into certain death?
I know. They're people too. They go like, hey, I want to go home after this. I got a family, I got friends, I got a mother to take care of. Come on, they're human. Regardless of whatever. That man eats, sleep, and take a piss like anybody else. Okay? He's a man. He got a wife, got a kids and everything like that. Especially you going through some stupid ass stuff. You're like, come on, man. I ain't risking my life. Hey, you die. That's on you. Because I'm gonna go home at the end of the day. But man, thanks you so much for being from Tactical.
No
problem, man, you're a really great guy, and I hope when any brothers, I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, whatever, see this podcast, go ahead and take it upon yourself to go out there and get some training, get some more training on top of that. Because let me tell you something, you have to protect yourself. You alone. Don't be putting on your cousins, your boy, and women out there too. Don't be talking about my buddy, my cousin, my boyfriend, or whatever. That's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, I get my cousin. I got my. That ain't working out. Because let me tell you something.
Right.
Well, Murphy's Law. When that person ain't around, that's what you're gonna have. That's gonna happen. Murphy's Law always wins. Oh man, but man, thanks a lot so much for being on my podcast. You really came through because I've got messed up before. He said, "No, man, we can go ahead and work this out, chop it up, and get back again." Thanks a lot so much, man. You've been really, really great. And take this knowledge and go out there, use it for yourself, and use it to protect other people and better yourself. And thanks a lot again for being on my show. That proves that black folks do a whole lot more than rap, dance, and play basketball. And thank you a lot, from Tactical.
Let's run it down. This is O from Body by O Tactical, Akofena Academy, Akofena Community Security, man. We in here. We on the podcast. We getting in. We touching the people, man. Look, each one teach one. Get up. Look here, man. Hit me up on Instagram, Body by O 318. TikTok now X, Body by O 318. You can also hit me on TikTok. No, was that? That was Twitter. I'm sorry. Now X. Twitter's now X. Body by 318. TikTok. Hit me up on the chocolate pawpaw _ official. That's me, chocolate pawpaw _ official. We're gonna get it in. We're gonna serve you right, man. Look, we're gonna keep this thing official like a referee whistle, baby.
All right, man. Cool. Cool. Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. Y'all be good, bro. Hit me up. Just be in touch, man. We get this thing edited, get it rolling, man. We can push it out there, man. Make sure you send me information so I can Get you pushed out there. I'm chop it up, get your shorts and then everything else, man. We're gonna make it happen, bro.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, man. Have a great evening, man.
No problem, man. Y'all be careful, man. Stay safe. Stay
Okay.
dangerous.
All right. I'm out.
All right. Yes, sir.